I wish you'd look at me that way. Your beautiful eyes looking deep into mine, telling me more than any words could say. But you don't even know I'm alive. Baby, to you, all I am is the invisible man.
I'm beyond thrilled to have as my guest, the iconic boy band of the 90s. 98 Degrees, welcome to Dollywood.
Thank you.
In your press con, you mentioned that you were fascinated by our local group, SB19. What did you fancy about them?
Old versus new, and it feels like it could be a great collaboration. And I'm really interested in the potential of working with them.
In your press con, you also mentioned that you took a fancy to Jo Koy, the Filipino comedian.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. What do you like about Jo Koy?
Well, I think everyone gets his jokes. He's blown up.
And any embarrassing moment on stage, just to humanize you because you're larger than life.
We've never made a mistake on stage.
We've never had it.
And how do you handle creative differences, if you have any?
We quit for 11 years.
Hello mga kadaldal, today we have a very special episode. I'm beyond thrilled to have as my guest, the iconic boy band of the 90s. 98 Degrees, welcome to Dollywood.
Thank you.
I should be the one to thank you. I'm fangirling actually, but I have to get a hold of myself. So I'll be able to conduct this interview properly. But before we start, I'd like to thank Boss Vic Del Rosario for making this once-in-a-lifetime interview possible. You see, I'm getting nervous.
No, don't be nervous.
I don't get nervous, but because I'm a fan. So you have to forgive me.
Well, thank you.
So, talking about the being nervous, do you have stage fright? Do you still experience that?
I think you get the butterflies, a little bit. We've always kind of said when you stop getting those butterflies, it means you don't really care as much as you should.
If you're too complacent,
it's good to have that nervous energy before a show. That means I think you really are truly invested in trying to deliver the best show possible. Yeah, we still get a little bit of the nerves, especially when we do a wonderful show like this in a big arena, and
the jitters. So how do you shake up the jitters before a show?
I think as soon as you get on stage and you get that energy from the audience and you just settle into it,
it's automatic.
They go away. I think the nerves are just like the little bit of time leading up to, that first downbeat. Once you're on stage, at least for me, it's just like, all right, everything kind of goes away and you're just in your element.
And you kind of want them because you get so anxious. You want them to go away, right? But I've tried everything. They just don't go away. 30 years later, they don't go away.
So you channel it to
yeah, I mean, that's the only choice, right? You end up getting there and you're like, well, you better take that nervous energy and put it into the best show you can possibly give. And afterwards, you're relieved that you did it, and you're excited that you did it, and happy you had that energy, but always leading up to it. I mean,
whiskey does help, though.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm a drinker too, but in moderation.
Of course.
And any embarrassing moment on stage, just to humanize you because you're larger than life. So your fans will know, oh, they're also human.
We've never made a mistake on stage.
We've never had it.
I've forgotten words to songs plenty of times. That's always
But you
embarrassing.
got away with it, with your charm.
Well, I always make something up, but our fans know it's not the right lyric, so these guys give me crap too for that. But
we've split pants, we've slid off the front of the stage.
Oh, when did this happen?
I mean, it's happened
a bunch of
multiple
times.
Yeah. We've had just the power go out, but our ears are still, like our in-ear monitors are still working. So we don't know that the PA has gone out. So we're still singing our hearts out.
Just going through the motion.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
Everybody in the audience is like, we can't hear you. What? Yeah.
Falling
Sign
off the
language.
stage, gotten sick on stage and had to run on. I mean, we've performed so many times over the years. There have been countless embarrassing moments.
And because you sing mostly hit love songs, right? What's the craziest thing you've done for love?
Oh, for love? We've all done crazy stuff for love.
Yeah, we're all guilty of that.
Of course.
I think getting married is about the craziest thing you can do for.
You're married to a Filipina, right?
She's half Filipino, yes.
What's it like being married to a half?
She's wonderful. All the best parts of her are the Filipino side, for sure. No, she's amazing. And
so she taught you a lot about Filipino culture, food.
To be honest, she was born here, but she has not been back since she was a young child. So she doesn't really have a relationship with her mother. So she does cook mean chicken adobo, which is a big favorite favorite in our house. But yeah, I think she would enjoy being back here and seeing the
Next
Philippines
time.
for herself, for sure.
What about the craziest thing you've done for love? The rest.
So
Too many to mention?
Yeah, I've been with my wife since we were 16 years old. So there's
Wow.
been a bunch of stupid things that I did when I was 16 up till when I was 48. So, you know,
That's a long time, from 16 to
you drive
48.
across country, you buy whatever, you know, it's just, you write songs.
Spend way too much money
Yeah.
on something crazy.
For me, my second wife, we just ran off and got married. I never thought I'd get married. I didn't have a great first marriage. So I kind of was resigned to the fact I'll just be a dad and not get married again. Wasn't really seeking a relationship, but fell in love head over heels and just went to the courthouse and got married, you know? And my parents
Just
were
like that.
That's pretty crazy. You just said you
How about the broken
again.
heart? How did you deal with the broken heart?
Well, it's hard to deal with. And I think only time heals a
Music
broken-
helps.
I
Your
think,
music
I think
helps.
music is cathartic. You can definitely, your songwriting, you know, that's how we feel, what we feel separates us from some other groups we're compared to is, you know, we put a lot of emotion into our music. Not that those guys aren't talented, but we're pretty passionate, heartfelt guys. We primarily are known for our love songs, and that's because we're kind of, you know, guys that lead with our love, you know. And,
Yeah, your
our
songs
emotions.
comprise the soundtrack of every romantic fool's playlist.
Well, we'll take
We'll
it.
take that, yeah.
It has to be the fools, the romantic fools.
That might be the nicest thing anyone's ever said to us.
In your press con, you mentioned that you were fascinated by our local group, SB19. What did you fancy about them?
Well, I like them. You know, their former manager reached out to us about a potential collaboration, and then
Yeah, that would be great.
They ended up going somewhere else. I had learned about them and was very interested and fascinated in the K-pop scene, which has evolved after the boy band scene, etc., and sort of taking it to another level. And these guys have adopted some of that while keeping the romantic boy band-esque Filipino harmonic style that sort of resembles what we do. So it's a good mesh. Old versus new, and it feels like it could be a great collaboration. And the fact that they have transcended some of the other groups, P-pop with Filipino pop, a whole new
Yes,
genre
yes.
that's been crafted by their style. I'm really interested in the potential of working with those.
Is that in the works, your collaboration with SB19? Hopefully it pushes through.
You know, some of those guys had reached out to me and their management a while back, and I tweeted about it. And, you know, Twitter's not as relevant as it used to be. Now it's X or whatever. So, but when I said something about that, it ended up trending here in the Philippines.
Yes.
And there was some excitement there, and there was some talk about us doing something with them pre-pandemic from our last tour, and it just didn't end up working out. And a couple of people have asked us, and maybe it's going to spark up something that can
Yes,
culminate
we look
into a
out
really
for
great
that.
song collaboration.
Be fun.
You're open to that as well.
Of course, yeah.
We like to collaborate.
What do you think of SB19 about the rest of you?
Very talented.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jeff is by far the most, you know, familiar with them. We've gotten to be, you know, a little bit. We've seen them, we've heard some songs, but, you know, we don't know them all by name yet. But we're hoping to nurture that relationship, and hopefully it'll bear fruit.
I'm sure they are fans of yours as well.
Well, we'll find out.
so, yeah.
If they don't agree to work with us,
They
we'll
say,
find out
"No,
they're not fans.
we're not working
Only
with those
one way
guys.
to find out.
Yeah.
In your press release, you also mentioned that you took a fancy to Jo Koy, the Filipino comedian. Yes. What do you like about Jo Koy?
Well, I
Style?
think he's style. I think he's easily one of the funniest people. I actually saw Jo Koy at the Laugh Factory in LA. This was probably 15, 20 years ago, forever, when he was just starting out. And he was one of the first to go on that night. He wasn't the headliner, but he stole the show. He was so ridiculously funny. And then I saw him again and hung out with him a little bit last year when he had a show in Hawaii. I was living in Hawaii at the time. So no, I think I just think his take on
Maybe
on
you got
life.
his humor because you're married to a Pinoy. That's why you're able to.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I think everyone gets his jokes. He's blown up. He's
Yeah,
worldwide now.
he's
so.
gonna have a show here
Yeah,
after you.
he's having a show everywhere.
Let's talk about your song, I Do. What's the story behind that?
Well, it was actually
It's
a
a
country
national
song.
anthem of all Pinoys.
Well, I mean, we didn't write it, but it was originally, I think it was done by a country artist, and somebody suggested we do it, and it's a beautiful song, and we got to work with an amazing producer, Keith Thomas, and you know, the rest is history. I mean, it's been the soundtrack to so many people's lives. It's been a part of
Yeah, the
people's
national
weddings,
anthem.
and yeah, it's been an amazing song for us. It's probably arguably one of our biggest songs.
Yeah, I mean, often people before the shows, they'll come up to us and want to propose to their future wife to the song, or we'll be singing the song, and we'll just see some of the audience pop up, get on one knee. The crowd, the spotlight will go on them. He'll pull out a ring and propose.
Yeah, who
while
can
the
say
song's
no
going
when that
on.
song is
So,
playing?
Yeah, it's
How about
pretty
Because of You? What's the story behind that song?
It's interesting. That was a song that was written by a guy named Anders Bagge. He was a Swedish producer we were working with, and we were actually recording a different song with him. And we're in the studio, and he said, "Why didn't you guys, like the other song I sent you?" And we're like, "Well, we didn't hear another song." He said, "Well, let me play it for you right now." And it was Because of You. So we almost didn't get the chance to record that song. We didn't even know it existed. So just thrilled that he played it for us that day. We obviously didn't have a chance to. We weren't a part of writing that song, but that was the one that Invisible Man did well. But that was the one that really put us on the map in terms of being part of the pop music scene. So very thankful for
I have a
that.
trivia for you. Because of You, when you translate it to Tagalog, is Dahil Sa'yo. And there's a very famous Filipino song entitled Dahil Sa'yo, Because of You.
Huh?
Yeah, so that now you know.
Yeah.
And tell us about your new album, Full Circle.
Well, it's kind of it's a journey from our past and into our present and our future. And, we re-recorded our biggest hits. So now we own the masters and can have more control over, what can happen with those, where they can be played. Does it go on a soundtrack or, and then we have 5 new songs and some collaborations with some Filipino artists. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, you're doing a duet with Jonah, right? In your concert.
Yep. Yeah.
So what can fans expect from your 2-day concert here at MOA?
Well, look, obviously we're going to do the hits. I mean, that's what we're known
Not a
for.
medley, huh? You'll do the whole.
No, we'll do.
The whole song.
We'll do the whole song. Yeah, I mean, we are proud of those songs. And a lot of artists get tired of those songs. And look, it's interesting to us that they never get old. The crowd always responds differently. Whatever atmosphere we're in, they give us this energy, and it always excites us. And so we'll have those. We have a couple of surprises. We have an homage to the TRL era, which was the explosion of all those pop acts, amazing pop acts. We do that, and then we have a couple of collaborations, and of course we're going to debut some of our new songs that we've never performed from Full Circle. So we're really excited to test that out on what seems to be is going to be an amazing crowd both nights. So we're super excited.
I'm just curious, are you friends with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC?
Yeah.
I love that.
Can you share any trivia, interesting story about your friendship?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, like the first time we met NSYNC was we were on tour together before either of us had really broken. I mean, we had Invisible Man out in the States and we were on the Smash Hits tour in the UK. And we were the only 2 American groups there. But
no rivalry at all.
No, never.
No, they were fun.
No, we realized that we kind of do different things, They have a different energy and a different feel to them than we do. I mean, I think the NSYNC Backstreet thing, there was a little bit more.
They're the ones.
Let's just say tension, not necessarily between them, but between like their fan bases. But for us, we've had nothing but a great experience with everybody in NSYNC, and we've actually gotten to know a lot of the members of Backstreet Boys over the years as well. So yeah, we got nothing but
We
love
got
for
no
those
beef
groups.
with anyone.
Yeah.
We're friends with everybody.
So cool.
We have some beef with people, but neither
Not
them.
them.
Yeah,
Not them.
How about your pinch me moment with Stevie Wonder? You mentioned that in your press con.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, along the way, first getting signed to Motown was, you kind of felt like you made it, but nothing more than getting to perform and collaborate with Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, the legend, the icon. I think we all look up to him. He's one of our favorite artists of all time. And I think for other artists, most people would.
What was he like in person?
Stevie,
Up close and personal.
they say you shouldn't meet the people you idolize, but Stevie Wonder is everything you would imagine he is. He's just an incredibly nice and generous and
down to earth,
fun and friendly, down to earth person.
And really with the bat for like we did our first ever Tonight Show performance with Stevie Wonder.
Wow.
When Jay Leno was still the host of the Tonight Show, and Stevie kind of went to bat for us and said, "Hey, I'll only do the interview with you, Jay, if the boys can come over and sit on the couch with
that's so
me."
sweet of him.
I mean, and we were at that point we were virtually unknown. So I mean, he really went to bat for us and gave us some credibility, and it was I mean, to Justin's point, he's our idol, but he could not have been a nicer, more generous person to work with. It was an incredible experience.
It almost made you forget how famous he is because he's so.
Yeah, well, you're just kind of sitting backstage in his dressing room.
Right,
He's got
we
the
didn't
keyboard
forget.
singing.
We were looking at
You were
him.
in awe.
Yeah, we
I'm
were staring at
starstruck
him.
now with you. That's how we were starstruck with
You're
him.
definitely.
But he
too
doesn't
kind.
treat you like you're less than him or anything.
Yeah, he was playing. He said, "Hey, I want to play this for you guys. Let's sing this." And
Out of the blue.
We were
What
sitting.
song was this?
It was a song that
one
he
he
had
was
just written. He was
making
writing.
up.
Oh.
Yeah, and we just started like singing different
And he
vocal
was saying,
parts
"You
to
sing
it.
this," and he was
Yeah.
giving us our parts. It was like a dream. It
Yeah.
really was.
It was surreal.
Yes, it was.
And how do you handle creative differences, if you have any?
We quit for 11 years.
Just like that.
I'm just joking.
We have an octagon built in the backyard. We just go in there.
That's why. Hence all the makeup. No, we care about each other and have a mutual respect for our creative vibes. Well, that's why we're successful, because everybody has their strengths. You know, we've had moderate success in solo careers. Some of us, and you know, while that's fun, there's nothing better than vibing off of each other and feeding from the strengths and you know, sharing this experience together. So you know, if somebody feels something very strongly about something, we accept it, we implement it. And if you know, someone feels strongly against something, we take it out, and it's that simple.
Yeah, I think we've learned how to talk to each other or with each
Agree
other.
to disagree.
We don't, or you know, we talk it through so someone sees another angle on it. You know, we don't always agree. You know, as 4 grown men never will, but we do have enough respect for each other to talk those things through and talk them out and
Coexist.
and eventually come to some kind of, you know, understanding. But yeah, we're pretty easy going, where as far as getting along, as far as, you know, 4 different personalities can be, we get along, I think, about as well as you can expect.
And we pretty much, you know, majority pretty much rules, you know. So I mean, there's certain songs over the years that been like one of us didn't necessarily like them, but the other 3 did. So
Outnumbered.
we record them anyway. And I mean, I think everybody is just kind of like, okay, I get it. Here's my opinion. But if we decide to do it as a group,
and the majority,
compromise.
and the majority's been right. You know, that's what's interesting about it. You know, you might feel really strongly about, like Drew said, a song or a certain career choice, but you know, we're here now because of the group's brain
after
trust.
3 decades.
Yeah.
You're still going strong.
Hard to believe, yeah.
And what has fame taught you so far?
that you don't know anything. No.
Well, you know, I think if you're lucky enough to be successful as a musician, as we have been, then fame is kind of the byproduct of that. But it certainly was never the incentive to do what we do. We really love making music together, and we love living our music together. And the fame, you know, it can be, I think it's taught us sometimes that it requires patience. It requires understanding. I mean, it can be a challenging lifestyle to be thrust into, but certainly we're not complaining about anything. We've lived the dream for 30 some years now, and continue to, thanks to all of our fans out there who continue to support us. So I don't think the fame was the incentive to do what we do. It's certainly part of it, if you're lucky, as we have been.
You mentioned the fans. I'm just curious, what's the craziest thing a fan did to you or for you? Something out of this world?
I mean, we have fans that have gotten tattoos and
With your faces or names?
Like
Our lyrics,
logo and
our signatures.
Wow, the
autographed.
lyrics.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, sign my arm," and you'll already
Say,
sign
are you
arm.
sure? A couple of us have bad penmanship. This is
They-
not going to look
Yeah.
good on you.
One of them got our logo on their arm.
Yeah,
Oh,
Guys, please.
he's our biggest fan.
Autograph.
They'll come back-
98ers.
Yeah, after you sign it, they'll come back later in the day and be like, I just got it tattooed. So they literally
Over your signature,
they
yeah.
Get it
go
in
to
a
the
day.
tattoo shop from there and they get it tattooed on them.
And what sets apart Filipino fans from your fans all over the world?
They just have a lot of heart. I mean, I know it
And
sounds...
we love to sing
Yeah,
here.
you love to
Even
sing.
if
You
we are out of
understand.
tune.
Yeah, you understand the music. I think that really fascinated to and drawn to is the magnetism that our music has with Filipino fans, as opposed to some of the other fan bases. We have great fans all over the world, but this is a place that really connected with our style right away.
We're hopeless
Invisible
romantics.
Man, they got it. I mean, when we got off that plane, everybody knew that song, you know, and that was exactly the kind of response we wanted to have to that song. It was a hit on the radio in the United States. We would sing it and people would react. When we got here, people loved that song the way we loved it when we first heard it and after we recorded it.
There's just a warmth to the culture too. I mean, I think that makes us, you know, definitely connect with it. You know, like Jeff said, we've been embraced since day one.
We want to adopt you already.
Well, we want to
We're up for adoption.
Let's do it.
We're down.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like it's definitely like what the Filipino fans want is what we do well. So I think it's just a great fit, a great marriage.
And if your story as a group would be made into a song, what would the title be? Your journey as 98 degrees.
The hardest thing?
I think it's unfinished. You know, we're still going.
Unwritten by Natasha Pennington.
Well, it's you know, we're not done. You know, we're still going. We still have more songs.
More
to write,
music in you.
Yeah, more tours to go on, more shows to do. So I think we've had a great first half of our career. You know, and I'm excited to see what the next half brings.
Yes, and we'll all be around cheering you on. And before we close this interview, I hope you would grant my request if you could sing a few lines from Invisible Man.
Oh,
of
good.
course,
There you
yeah.
go.
For a change, because it's always, I do cherish you, and because of you. Your very first hit.
3, 4. I wish you'd look at me that way. Your beautiful eyes looking deep into mine, telling me more than any words could say. But you don't even know I'm alive. Baby, to you, all I am is the invisible man.
Oh my gosh. Such harmony. How do you maintain that all these years, no?
It's what we've always done. It's kind of like our bread and butter.
Second nature to you, like breathing.
It's how we got discovered. It's how we got signed. You know, we've always worked hard on our blend and our harmony, and so yeah, it's kind of like riding a bike. It comes back after you've done it for so long.
You've never aged. Your voice as well.
Oh, thank you.
Invite
Sadly,
them to
our
the
hips and knees
concerts.
don't agree with you, but
Doesn't show. Invite viewers to your
Yes,
concerts.
yes.
Mga kadaldal. You say kadaldal. Try to say.
Kadaldal.
Yeah, it means someone to chat with.
Kadaldal.
How cute.
We just want to invite everybody out there to come see our 2 concerts, May 30th and 31st, here at the Mall of Asia Arena. It's going to be a fantastic evening. You can go to SM Tickets to get all your tickets. I'm not sure how many are left, so make sure you go and get them quickly. But we are very excited to perform not only our hits, but some new music for all of our Filipino fans out there. Check it out, May 30th and 31st at the Mall of Asia Arena. We can't wait to see you.
Thanks, Boss Vic. We appreciate it.
Yes, we
Yeah,
love you,
thank you.
Boss Vic. And on behalf of all your legion of Pinoy fans, I'd like to thank you for the music and thank you for being here. And
Thank you.
You'll always have the 100% support. 98 degrees, 100% support.
Thank
from
you,
all of
thank
us
you.
Pinoy
Thank you for
fans.
the wonderful
Yes,
interview.
we do
appreciate
cherish
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We love you. Thank you
you.
so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.